Welcome to Hockey Nights in Vegas, episode 117. My name is Eddie Rivkin. I'm joined as always by Sarina Taylor. This episode is all the episodes, are brought to you by my good friend Dr. John Pierce at Ageless Forever, agelessforever.net. And we are here live at the Space, Mark Chinook's The Space, host of the Monday's Dark Charity, the best charity event in all Vegas. They raise money for just about every good cause. It's a fantastic event. If you haven't had a chance to make it out, they've got some crazy fun stuff going on for the holidays. Look them up at thespace.com. And so, young lady, would you like to talk baseball?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Not at all?
Well, nobody here wants to listen to us talk about baseball.
I want to listen to you talk.
No, you don't.
I don't?
No.
Fine.
Do not.
Fine. We will not talk about baseball. For you, those of you who are wondering, Sarina is a massive Blue Jays fan, and it's a little cold in here, so I was going to give her the needle and see if I could warm up the room a little bit.
No.
But, okay. So, no, okay, we won't then. Fair enough. Let's get on to hockey then. The season's a month old. I would like you to tell me your biggest surprise in the league and your biggest disappointment in the league.
I think probably I would have to say the biggest surprise, it's not really a surprise, is Montreal.
Okay.
I think Montreal is finally kind of hitting stride. There were several games I watched them play last year that they were by far the dominant team. And Montreal doesn't have a big team. They have a little smaller team, but I think they're kind of coming together. But I'm a little surprised at how well they're doing. I mean, obviously Utah is a little bit of a surprise as well, but that's not going to last very long. I don't think it's going to kind of start to fade. Also, Anaheim is a surprise. We were just talking about this before. Anaheim is just scooting right now. It is hard to believe. It's a surprise.
How about Pittsburgh?
I think.
Yes, everybody was saying Pittsburgh was going to be in the Derby for the first pick. I think it's a total mirage. I think they're about to crater, and they're going to come back to being the shit team that they really are.
The thing with Pittsburgh is this is why it's like teams like Tampa, Pittsburgh more so right now. You can never really count them out because they do have a lot of experience on that team. They haven't really turned their team over much, and Malkin is got
rejuvenated,
like 19 points or something.
Yeah.
And so Pittsburgh, I really honestly am really not surprised by Pittsburgh. I'm really not. Disappointments, I mean, that's kind of a loaded because I'll say, I'm not surprised that Florida is sitting in the basement because they lost their captain. That's the stuff that's going to happen when those things happen. Not surprised. Toronto's shit in the bed. Edmonton's doing their thing. Calgary's doing their thing.
Shit in the bed.
Yeah. I'm just not really, it's a dumpster fire in some of those teams.
I agree with Montreal to a point, but and yes, I'm a homer. Everybody knows it. I think it's Detroit because Montreal was a better team than Detroit last year, right? Montreal made the playoffs.
I mean, barely, but a lot of people were like, "Oh, Detroit's going to make the playoffs." I was like, everybody, they should have, they could have. Detroit always has a good team.
They could have the last 2 years, but this year, and finally. I got to put the eyeball test on it last night at the Fortress. This is their first full year with Todd McClellan, and he's a good hockey coach. Tough, disciplinarian, won a lot of games and a lot of stops. They play a very competitive, very responsible brand of hockey. They have a couple of bona fide superstars, budding superstars. Right, Dylan Larkin is probably the most underrated player in the NHL.
Disagree. He's the softest player in the National Hockey League. He's not underrated.
He was the second or third best player on the American team in the Four Nations.
So what? He is extremely overrated.
No.
Yes, he is. Everybody talking about Dylan Larkin this, Dylan Larkin that. I'm like, he's the captain of that team. I'm like, he hasn't done shit. He gets hurt all the time. I think Dylan Larkin's overrated. I don't think that he brings anything that's going to elevate that team from a captain standpoint. I just don't think he does.
Well, I think they did the important thing. They got their net shored up a little bit. I was a little skeptical if you tell me like Cam Talbot's going to be part of a rotation with John Gibson. There's a lot of years and an awful lot of puck mileage on them, but they've been pretty sturdy. Last night's game, for a 1-0 game, you have low event games, you have high event games. I would put that at the 65-70%. There were good quality chances. Gibson played really well. His rebound control was terrible. It cost him the game ultimately. But as a lifelong Red Wings guy, they may have turned the corner, right? They finally let the kids, all those kids that they've been drafting with their high picks and just sort of seasoning away in Grand Rapids, brought them up, and the kids are performing. And they have a wonderful story. 7th round, 201st pick, an absolute, it's a throwaway pick. Playing first line minutes, second leading rookie scorer in the NHL. And Emmett Finney, the most hockey name ever.
Yeah.
He sounds like he should be a detective on a sleuth, TV show. But I think they're the biggest surprise. I hope it lasts. I'm not quite sure yet. I would comment more about that when we get to 40 games, not even 20.
Yeah, it's too hard to tell.
I want to see a half a season of consistency because they got boat raced by Montreal, but then they beat Toronto, Florida, Tampa in the next 4 games, and you're like, well, what's going on in this place?
Detroit always has those guys that were picked like 177th overall, like the Henrik Zetterbergs that all of a sudden
Datsuk
come out of right, correct. So they always get the good picks, and they do have a lot of young good players. Mo Seider is really good for them. But the Todd McClellan thing, it's tough. I love Todd McClellan to death. He's a good Saskatchewan boy, but the guy just can't get it done.
He can't get it all the way done.
Yeah, and not everybody's going to. It's the National Hockey. There's 500 teams in the league.
Pete DeBoer can't get it all the way done either.
I mean, Pete DeBoer is a legend, right? So, but I think Todd McClellan will be a good fit there. I mean, it's hard to always say with the dynamic of the dressing room, right? You don't know what guy. I would have never in a million years thought that Chris Knobloch would do what he did in Edmonton. Who the fuck is this guy, right? It's all about being a coach. You're coaching these people, right? So I hope Todd McClellan does well.
For me, disappointment, it's got to be the Rangers. They got shut out for the 3rd time at home last night.
Yeah.
They're 6-1-1 on the road, and shitbag, and we suck at the Garden.
Yeah, I kind of expected it, to be honest, though.
That much of a jump.
Yeah.
Sullivan, you have a beef with Sullivan
No,
as a head coach?
No, it's not got nothing to do with that. It's just you could see the downward slide last year, and then they just dished off
Kreider and everybody
Trouba,
else.
all those guys, and you could see it coming.
It's pretty. I think if they don't figure this out, I feel bad for Sullivan. He's a good hockey coach. You don't get to coach the national team and be a shitty hockey coach.
They do not have terrible players.
No.
They have Shesterkin. They have Panarin. There's guys that are all-stars on that team.
Yeah.
It's just,
and
I don't know.
I think they 3/4 blew it up last year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
JT Miller is your captain. Not quite sure about that.
Well, I said that right off the rip. That he's a cancer.
And it's funny you said cancer because we're in my hot take. We're going to talk about another locker room cancer, and I think the season is off. It got started. It's hard to tell what the season's going to be. There's a lot of seriously bad goals against average right now. Their teams just can't keep the puck. Minnesota, holy shit balls. They couldn't keep the puck out of the net if it was a beach ball.
Yeah.
Right? And they got all the money tied up with Gustafsson, I think it is, and the backup is a kid.
Yeah.
So
it's been a weird season so far to start, I feel.
Yeah, there's no groove yet, right? Nobody's really settled. You never expect Edmonton to settle in.
Yeah.
Right? They need 20 games before they decide the regular season has started.
Yeah.
But, they're already screaming for Bouchard's head. Right? He had more turnovers in last night's game than my favorite bakery. It was like he had the wrong colored contact lenses on. And yeah, they're 20 games in. I'm glad. I don't know. I still don't even know what the Golden Knights are going to be, so we'll bring it around a little bit. Noah Hannafin came back last night, first game in 10. immeasurably different hockey club with him bringing the puck up the ice. Just nothing against Ben Hutton. He's been a fantastic seventh defenseman, a loyal soldier, one of the most liked guys in the room, but he ain't Noah Hannafin. And Noah Hannafin is a top-tier defense, and, he was raring to go, sitting on the sidelines 10 games, and I think 21, almost 22 minutes, skating like the wind. And now the defense is sort of back to where they expected it to be. Everybody's sort of slotted to where they were. Poor Jeremy Lozon finally got his first goal, and it got yanked back on the mystery offside, whether he has control of the puck when his skates go in first.
That whole thing.
Right.
I think when you go into a season as a head coach, you're like, okay, ding, 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 ding. Then this guy gets hurt. This guy gets hurt. It's like driving the car with a donut. How far is this thing going to go?
Right.
And we just got to make sure there's enough gas to keep us going. There's nothing you can do except try to figure it out game by game in this situation. And I think a healthy Golden Knights defense is obviously preferable at this point. But what are you going to do? Just happens.
They certainly, we can tell 12, 13 games in, they really miss Pietrangelo. Even Pietrangelo at 60%, which he certainly was last year, but just the Warrior spirit, but just the fact that he plays 24 minutes, hard minutes. He was the bona fide one defenseman. He was out against every first line on the PK. I'll take him at 60-65% over most other D around, and they're finding their identity back there too.
It happens. I mean, every team goes through this kind of a thing. Nobody really ever has the same defenseman year to year, right? And defensemen are such an interesting, they're not like forwards. You could throw Marner out there on his first couple days and it kind of takes a little bit, but then it's the same kind of principle. Defense is different. Defensemen, it's different.
They have to sync.
Yeah, and so it's there's only two of them versus three, right? So it's kind of like one guy goes down and then they got to find their flow and then they got to do this and they got to do that. And whether somebody got traded or got injured or whatever, it's like the game plan is like, let's go forward. And like I said this on the show before, the same thing happened in Florida after they won the first Stanley Cup. They traded away all their defensemen and they're like, well, oh my God, we're screwed. And then they turn around and won again, right? So there was that concern there immediately as well. And guys were hurt and stuff like that. Same as here. But they're going to be fine.
I want to try a new segment. Right? I kind of teased you a little bit about, and we don't have the graphic yet because this was a thought that I had 2 minutes before we went live. So each week we're going to have Jesus Christ. Opportunity is the word I was trying to say.
By a vowel?
Yeah, by a vowel. Guess the puzzle or spin. What do you want to do? We're going to have the opportunity for one. I don't want us to talk about what the takes are. Let's make it fun. What's the one thing about the league, the game, the commissioner? So says Sarina. What's the itch you need to scratch about the NHL right now?
Christ. This show is not long enough.
We got all the time. We're only 13 minutes.
If I only get one.
Okay, well, if you get one and it's good enough, we'll come after the commercial and I'll give you a second one. How's that?
Okay. Just because this has been, for some reason, popping up in my universe the last 2 days.
Okay.
The coincidental penalty, the Gretzky rule. Okay, for those of you guys who don't know, back in the 80s, coincidentals used to be like offsetting where you go 4-on-4. They had to change coincidentals to 5-on-5 because Wayne was so good on 4-on-4 that he was dominating everybody. So they changed the rule so that it was 5-on-5. And that's just an example of like this league just going, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? There's always these rule changes. Every time something happens, they're like, well, it's okay now, but we're going to change the rule next year. Brett Hull's foot in the crease when Dallas wins the Stanley Cup. It was like, oh, because Edmonton played Dallas in the first round and had 3 goals in that series called back. And it was okay when Edmonton did it, they got called back. But Dallas wins a Stanley Cup with a foot in the crease, and it's a Stanley Cup. You got to be effing kidding me. That was Buffalo's only time in the Stanley Cup.
Effin', what is that?
Shut up.
Effin'?
So these rules,
Muffin?
the
Effin'?
next year they changed it. You couldn't. It's just the rules are so bad in the NHL.
Well,
so bad.
Okay, that's the perfect transition, not to my hot take, but what I wanted to talk about next. 3 times in the last week, a goalie or a player has knocked the net off the moorings, and they have to decide goal, not goal. Was it an imminent scoring chance? Right. This isn't coincidence. One, sometimes a player crashes in.
Yeah, it happens.
But a couple of times you can see the goalie going, oh, and giving.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Skinner, he assaulted the net to get it to come off the peg. Right. This is now a problem in the NHL because there's a million ways to interpret it. I think it should be very simple, cut and dry. If a player knocks the post, the goal off of the mooring, and there isn't anywhere between an imminent and a semi-imminent, they can allow the goal, but they should also assess a minor penalty.
A delay of game.
Yeah, similar to if a goal is scored and there's a challenge and you fuck the challenge up, right? Same thing. If a player intentionally dislodges the net, if the referees deem that it was an imminent goal and the puck was going to cross the goal line in the goal area,
yes,
right, which is sort of the rule that they kind of use.
Yes.
If that comes into play, you do award the goal, but if it isn't awardable that way, it's automatically a delay of game penalty.
It's like an empty net. If you throw your stick,
right,
it's an automatic goal.
Right.
It's like Wayne scoring 50 and 39. Wayne was shooting the puck in the net to get 50 and 39, and they threw their stick. It would have automatically been a goal anyway had it not gone in. But which should be, you can't throw your stick. It's a delay of game or whatever,
well,
right?
we were talking about that. It was kind of a hot topic when it happened again. In those situations, often it's a penalty shot. So here's the scenario that I proposed to our friend Jesse Granger, the goalie.
With the net coming off?
Yeah. So Jesse, our resident goalie expert who writes for The Athletic, I said, okay, I got a scenario for you, goalie Jesse Granger. Given all of this knocking the net off the mooring, you are standing in your goal looking at center ice. And in front of you is McDavid and Draisaitl and none of your jerseys. You're looking down the barrel of a 2-on-0. Now, would you, being the highly intelligent goalie Jesse Granger that we all know and like very much, turn around and say, fuck this, knock the net off the moorings and take a penalty shot? Or would you go for the 2-on-0? And then the person sitting next to him has to be the rules geek and everything else like that. And so if they did that, it's a goal, right? It's an award. They just award the goal.
First of all, that's a character thing.
Well, that's where I'm going next. The code of the game. It's a bullshit. It's not dislodging the net intentionally like that. It's kind of a bullshit play, right?
100%.
Now, if you get cross-checked in the back and go flying like Superman into the post, that's a different story. But if you do like an NBA style,
trust me,
flopperoo into the goal, right? That's like a code violation to me.
I saw Bobrovsky do that for years in Florida. That guy got away with absolutely everything, and the league let it happen because it was fucking Florida.
But it's with this happening 3 times in a calendar week, there's gonna be one of those memos to the teams coming down from Bill Daly and stuff like that. It's a shitty play. It's bad. It's a bad look for the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is like the rules of the game are sort of your pet peeve. There's a lot of things that you don't like. Those things are, it kind of, because of the speed of the game, it's really difficult to enforce.
Yeah.
But they have to get some sort of a regulation. And the only way that they're going to stop the goaltender windmill spinneroonie, oops, I knocked the net off, is to make it either award a goal if it's puck in the
Right.
vicinity, or hard stop, whistle, delay a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to like the goaltender interference. It has
Yeah.
gotten out of control. I mean, there was one the other night I saw. I totally forgot who it was. I'm like, I had no skin in whatever I was watching, and I'm
Right.
like, literally didn't even touch the goalie.
Right.
Like, what are we doing here, guys? Come on.
And he did his best LeBron James and looked like he got hit by a bus.
No, he didn't really though. He wasn't trying to sell it. It just all of a sudden they called the team decided, you know what, let's try for goaltender interference, and they won. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. I mean, there's so many in the playoffs last year I saw, like when Tampa and Florida played, it's always usually a pretty good series. Man, Tampa got shafted hard. Like it was just nonstop. Like this one wasn't, but this one was. And I'm like, how can you guys look at that and think that that is possibly goaltender interference? I mean, it's a goalie, someone stands in front and they're like, goaltender interference. Like, fucking come on, man. Give them one across the back of the legs and they'll move.
And be on with it. Yeah.
Like the old days. You didn't stand in front of Billy Smith and you didn't stand in front of Ron Hextall. If you don't like him in front, give him one in the back of the legs and they'll move. Yeah. Take a penalty if you have to. They will never come back in front of your net. If your defensemen aren't moving them, give them one. Who cares?
I agree. I'm curious to see how the league reacts because they have no choice. It will become an epidemic of anything that looks like we're about, because they'd rather, if they get the whistle, they didn't give up the goal and they can kill the penalty.
I will say this. This league is so bad that so many of my friends and family that live in Canada are like, I literally have no interest in just turning on hockey anymore. The games are bad. Nobody gives a shit. The rules are terrible. Like literally, and I'm not even like provoking this conversation. They're just like, I don't even feel like watching anymore. My dad goes, fucking like, Montreal, he hates Montreal and Calgary, so he's not going to watch them. But like, how do you sell the game in a place like here or Florida or California or whatever, when you have like what would be two teams that they could, like for example, in California, they're not watching Anaheim and Carolina. They don't care. People here aren't watching Anaheim and Carolina or Florida and Carolina because there's no excitement in the game anymore. No one cares. There's no intensity anymore. It's like, I'll even be honest, watching the Golden Knights this year, I don't feel like they've been as good as they probably should be. There's been glimpses.
I would push back and say will be instead of should. I think
that's what I mean, essentially.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, they're a good hockey club.
Right.
Right? But I'm seeing shades of what we saw at the end of last regular season where it was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand. The power play's not been good.
Well, that's an easy one. 2 for 15 since Stone got hurt. That's all you need to know. 33% before Stone got hurt.
Right.
2 for 15
Listen,
since he got hurt.
that guy's a stud. Here's another thing I will say, though, that we brought up, I think on the first episode we did here. We're talking about, do you put a 5-forward power play out?
Right. That was the very first episode.
And I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. The other night, they had a 5 and he shifted and he put a defenseman out there for the rest of the game because they were 1 for 14 or something at the time. And I'm like, he shifted and he started putting a 1 defenseman and 4 forwards out there. And it just to shake it up a little bit, right? But the problem is you've got Marner at the back. He's not a defenseman. He's good defensively, but there's a difference. He played the whole power play.
The problem is once you have, that you would consider that, well, the statistics would tell you it's the biggest injury you could have on the power play. That forces Marner to play the bottom bumper, right? Hurdle's still in the middle, Jack's still on the sidewall, Dorofeyev, right? But then you add Shea Theodore as the D, and with no disrespect to Shea Theodore, and I'm not breaking any kind of amazing news, he's not the most defensive defenseman on the club. He's much more known for his offensive prowess,
which is
right.
Why he's on the power play.
Yeah, which is something. So they're just one of the downsides of this incredibly ridiculous compacted schedule is limited practice time. They don't have Stone gets hurt. They don't have a lot of time to get a lot of reps with the new 5. And when you got to bring somebody off the second 5 onto the first 5, you got to add a brand new fresh body who's been getting no power play time onto the second power play unit. Bruce thinks the second power play unit is nothing more than a transition to back to 5-on-5. Somebody had the statistics, and I think I will give Ken Bolke of Sinbin a credit where he said, because he's really into analysis and stuff like that, the Golden Knights' first power play, I think, averaged 1 minute, between 1 minute and 25 and 1 minute and 30 seconds per power play.
No, Mitch played the whole thing one day. Yeah. 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, and Jack's done it a couple of times. They certainly do.
A lot of times too, for the record, guys, when sometimes you get stuck out there, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You're moving the puck around. It's not because
you don't want to bust the mojo if you're working it.
Fuck it. It's 2 minutes. Stay out there. Doesn't work like that.
And we'll skip them one time on the rotation to let them get their breath.
Be fine.
Okay, I think we're at the halfway point of the show. I'm going to give you a hot take about cancer. And I ain't talking about the cancer that's like a medical thing. I'm talking about hockey cancer. We're going to be right back. We're going to get a word in from my friend Dr. John Pierce's Ageless Forever. We have no idea what the commercial is, so drop the commercial in and we'll see what we're talking about when we get back.
Okay, guys, I'm sitting here at Ageless Forever, and I'm here with Keisha. And one of the things I think a lot of women, whether they admit it or not, we get some facial touch-ups for cosmetic reasons. So I personally love to come to Ageless Forever to get all of my face touched up. But tell me a little bit about what you guys offer in regards cosmetically.
We offer Botox treatments. We offer Juvederm, which is a cosmetic filler to fill in the lines that show up from aging. And we also offer Sculptra, which helps to rebuild collagen in your skin.
So if somebody wanted to come in and take advantage of that stuff, how would they get in touch with you? How do they book an appointment? All that kind of stuff.
They would just call the office and ask for an appointment with Keisha.
Okay, awesome. So if women want to come here, they're going to feel super comfortable. You guys can contact Keisha and you can help them with whatever they need.
We can definitely help you with all of your cosmetic needs, and we would love to.
Great. Thank you so much, Keisha, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
All right.
What a babe Keisha is.
She's fantastic.
This bitch is like...
Hey.
No, I say that lovingly.
Oh, okay.
She's like my daughter and my whatever. I was like, how old is she? She's like 22. I'm all...
Yeah, her daughter's in college.
The fuck?
Both her kids are in college.
Keisha and I are almost the same age, but I'm just like, what? I love her. She's great.
So, you know who Bruce Boudreau is?
Of course.
Great, arguably the best guy in hockey.
Bruce... Listen, this is what I love about Bruce Boudreau. When they throw him on the network, he just
let it rip.
Give a shit. Like, that's kind of like there's guys like Barry Trotz that I can't wait till he retires and they put him on the network because it's going to be the same shit. It's like they're just the way they speak. It's so like... It's like talking to Kelly, and it's not to get way off, but talking to Kelly McCrimmon, he's just a lot more like professional and just flies it under the radar. But Bruce doesn't care. Goes off.
So the topic is the Olympics, specifically the Canadian Olympic goaltending situation.
Okay.
Who's the best Canadian goalie in the NHL right now?
Oof.
It's not even close. It's Logan Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing the best.
He's playing the best. 5-1.
I think he's leading the league in
everything. 930-something save percentage, goals against under 2, 5-1. Every other of the top 5 goalies save percentages under 900. Mm-hmm. Bruce, they put the big graphic across the screen there. Logan Thompson's in the middle. He looks like King Midas in front of everybody. And Bruce Boudreau, who probably doesn't know, and this will be the only time that I tell you that I know something he might not know, okay? He said today, this is literally an hour and a half ago, somebody must not like Logan Thompson. Now, let me tell you something. The fan base has been talking about how iffy Adin Hill has been, and we're a little shaky in the net, and we really miss Logan Thompson. And I'm not giving any inside information. I'm going to tell you this. Logan Thompson is a fucking cancer. How do I know this? the best Canadian goalie in the NHL was coached by Bruce Cassidy and Peter DeBoer. And he wasn't on the Four Nations roster. Mm-hmm. Any idea why? I'll tell you why. Because he's a fucking cancer. He's the worst fucking teammate that anybody could ever experience. Otherwise, and I don't know this is a fact, and I get in trouble, I don't care, I'm going to say it. They told John Cooper, you don't need him. And the fan base is like, we want Logan Thompson back. I'll just say this nicely. Hell will freeze over before Logan Thompson comes back to this city. Because he, as much as he was a great man and he was at the draft and he signed autographs even after he was traded and he's a fucking cancer. And he will, my hot take, he will not be on the Canadian Olympic team. I don't care if you resurrect Terry Sawchuk, Jacques Plante, Ken Dryden, and Bernie Parent and roll them into Logan Thompson. He's a fucking cancer and a shitty teammate, and he will not be on the Olympic team. That's what I have to say.
That's what makes me proud to be Canadian, because we don't fuck around with that shit. This is why this whole like Carter Hart thing and all those guys that were whatever, it's like, first of all, calm down. Nobody was found guilty of everything, so just, if you don't like it, turn it the fuck off. But I'm a Carter Hart fan. And secondly, if they felt like Logan Thompson was a good teammate, he would be there.
Here,
right?
And he'd still be in Vegas.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like Kelly doesn't screw around. Shocking. He's from the middle of fucking Canada. There's no room for that bullshit. That's why he wasn't on the team. That's why it's just, you don't play like that. Canadians are raised to be teammates. And if you're not, you're out. Why do you think nobody's even, and you probably like, and you wouldn't watch like Canadian hockey things, his name doesn't even come up. He's not even on anybody's radar.
He's persona non grata.
Yeah, and
not because of his goaltending.
Correct.
This has
right.
Zip zero nada. He is a very talented goaltender. He came with a chip on it because he took the hard path. He came through Canadian college hockey, which is really nothing more than glorified men's league hockey. And he got to the show, and he's been good. But he can't be a fucking dick.
Totally. So for the record, Canadian like university hockey in Canada is like guys are a little older.
Right.
They've played in the Western Hockey League or they've played whatever, so they go play. American like NC.
It's a different trajectory. American college hockey is aiming at the NHL.
Right.
Canadian college hockey is more like this is the end run for their best competitive hockey.
Either way, guys that play college hockey are typically not ready for the NHL.
And he made it. And that in and of itself is an incredible achievement.
But
still a fucking cancer.
So
let's talk goaltending. And we'll reference Jesse Granger last night, who asked a very fair but difficult question to Akira Schmid after. And Akira played really well last night.
Yeah.
Right? Hung the egg on him and everything. How do you feel about Aiden's eventually coming back? Carter Hart's coming back. Do you feel like it's pressure? Or do you just look at, do you just worry about, your own lane? And I wish I could bring up the quote and tell you what he said. But it was a brilliantly worded question without saying Carter Hart. He just said another goalie coming in a month, and that's happening, right? The kid, Lindblom, was great in his 2 games.
He was.
Right?
He was really good.
He was the best story of the Golden Knights' first 12 games, right?
He was really good.
Adin Hill is going to come back from his lower body injury. One net. At the beginning of the season, we were concerned they didn't have enough goaltenders. Now they have 4 that all have NHL experience. One of them, who is the newest, who isn't here just yet, is a bona fide NHL starter. He was an above 500 goaltender with an awful fucking Philadelphia Flyer team.
He got ruined there.
He got fucking wrecked there. So what if you're Akira Schmid, because you're you're looking at maybe going back. I mean, how the goalie room is crowded, I guess is what I want to get to. You got to believe Carl Lindblom is going to go back to Henderson. He's had 2 starts. He was incredible in a fill-in role. It was a wonderful story. His family flew in from Sweden. He was fantastic. He's been a hard luck loser. He was their best player in both the games he played, I think, without a doubt. But the goalie room's getting a little crowded. Schmid, what happens if Carter Hart, I guess he can start playing in the AHL on the 15th of this month, and he can't play in the NHL until December 1st. So in theory, he's probably going to, if he hasn't already, we know he's practiced, he's probably going to start his conditioning stint in Henderson here pretty soon. I mean, if you're Akira Schmid, do you feel like you're about to get squeezed out and put on waivers? Or what the hell's going to happen in the room, I guess, is where I'm trying to go.
I don't think that any professional hockey player of any position should look at it like, oh my God, what's going to happen if that play your game?
You don't think do you think he's hearing footsteps, though? Or does it not matter?
But he wasn't the starter anyway.
No.
So it's like...
But they got rid of Samsonov to make him the backup.
I watched a lot. Yeah. I watched a lot of backups in Florida behind Bobrovsky. You just go in there and you do what you can do, and look what Anthony Stolar's now.
Spencer Knight.
Spencer Knight. And if Spencer Knight didn't have, bless his heart, if he didn't have, some...
But he struggled a little bit, but he's a Vezina candidate in Chicago right now.
I'll tell you right now, I have so much respect for him because he never gives up. And so what I'm saying is, if I'm Akira Schmid, I'm like, okay, forget it. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to play my game because I don't know when I'm given the opportunity now, and I'm going to play. Because you know what? He could potentially put himself in a position where he's the starter and it's his job to lose. I don't know if that's going to happen, but what if it did? Right? So what if it's his job to lose all of a sudden instead of piecemealing everything together? You just have to go out there as a professional athlete and go, I'm going to give it my best, and whatever happens, happens. I have no control over this. The only thing I can control is my efforts in this game.
But as a human being, as a professional hockey player, you do everything that you're asked to do. Yeah. Right? You do it. You perform your job admirably. If they put him on waivers, he's gone in 4 seconds flat. Mm-hmm. It's over. He's proven himself that he can be an NHL netminder. He was occasionally great in New Jersey, but then kind of meh, and he got shipped as part of the trade for Paul Cotter with Alexander Holtz. He struggled in Henderson last year, but at the end of the year was good, and he was great at the end of the regular season here last year when they called him up. He showed up, right? He carried them big time when they were scuffling along. I hope that I don't know how they're going to get clarity. I don't want to say he's going to crack because that's just fucking stupid. But if Carter Hart comes in and is Carter Hart, it's going to be Adin Hill and Carter Hart. Mm-hmm. They didn't bring Carter Hart off of not playing an NHL game in a year and a half, almost 2 years. They didn't bring him here to play in Henderson. We know that.
I think in this is just, if this was me, this is me speculating. If I'm Kelly, I'm going, okay, I'm getting Carter Hart on a bargain. One of two things is going to happen. He's either going to be the Carter Hart he was in junior, and he's going to stand on his head, or he's going to not carry us through, which it's a win-win for Vegas at this point, right?
Because it's a low risk investment.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's like, I guess if you're going back to the conversation, if you're Schmid, you're like, well, whatever. Who knows what's going to happen? Carter Hart might come in and shit the bed. Adin Hill might be out for longer. Just fucking wing it, man. Just do it. Do it.
It's a lot of drama. And, we went from the drama as who the hell's going to be the backup to, hey, somebody stepped up to be the backup. Now in essence.
He's a starter.
he's in essence splitting.
Yeah.
Lindblom played against Colorado on Friday afternoon, and he was good. They stunk Friday on Nevada Day. And he kept that game from being 7-2 or 8-3 or some fucking shenanigan like that. He was really good.
Yeah,
he was really good in Tampa. That's how he got the Colorado start. Schmid starts yesterday, hangs an egg on the Red Wings. So who starts tomorrow? Tampa Bay. I got to give the net to Lindblom. He's got to get his first win. He's got.
I don't know.
Oh, revenge game. He was the best he was the best player on the ice against Tampa, and now you've got Noah Hannafin back in front of him.
But if you're Bruce Cassidy, you're not bouncing guys back. It's like,
yeah, you are. You're going every. You've got 2 goalies that can play in the league. You've got 6 games in 8. You got 4 games in 8 nights, right?
Yeah.
You're going every other game, in my opinion.
yeah.
I've
never been a fan of that. I'm a fan of, if you're like, Lindblom lost 2, so he was out. So Schmid started. So here we go. Until there's a difference.
I understand, but Schmid and also Lindblom, they have not lost a game for the Golden Knights. They've been in net when the Golden Knights have lost, but they haven't been. No, listen. The goalie's the goalie's the only one who can directly win or lose. If a goalie has a bad game, your team's going to get waxed, right? They haven't given away a game. They haven't stolen any games. So I call that neutral. So if there's 4 games in 8 nights, I keep them both fresh and just say, here, boys, here's how it's going to be.
I don't go back and forth, and here's why. Goalies are head cases.
Yes.
Goalies need consistency.
Well, they're getting consistent. You're going every other day, every other game.
Consistency in the NHL. It's just not. That's why there's starters, and that's why there's guys that only play. Teams that go back and forth with their goaltenders.
Right, but we don't have a bona fide starter right now.
But that's what he's trying to do, is find one. So he tried to do it with Lindblom, and he lost 2, so he put Schmid in.
Do you think he's trying to do that, or do you think he's just trying to tread water and see how long Adin Hill's going to be out?
No. He's trying to find somebody that can fill. Because Adin Hill's not going to be out for only 2 more days.
No, he's going to be out another couple weeks.
Yeah,
probably.
like this
he's
is
got a lower body.
long,
Looks like a groin.
Honestly, when I saw him go down, I turned to Hannah and said, "That's a groin. He's fucked."
Right,
you
6
could
weeks.
See it.
Yeah.
You could see. I felt terrible because it looked innocent, right? But that's where it's like, okay, 6 weeks, best case. Groin is rough. And we want Adin Hill to be back. But I don't think you bounce back and forth. I think you go with whoever's winning. And then if the chance comes there and they shit the bed, then the other guy gets an opportunity.
So there was this incredible tradition when I started the podcast years before I knew you, with my friend Joe Payne, who passed away. He was a gambler. And I've been known to like to make the occasional wager on stuff. So Joe and I have had a standing bet. We never bet money. And what we bet was something that I turned you on to that you happen to like. We used to bet a pizza at Metro.
I always lose bets, though. If I bet, I always lose.
Okay, so I'll based on what you said, I'm going to take Lindblom tomorrow night, and you get Schmid.
Sure.
For pizza?
Sure. I'm probably going to lose because every time I lose, I'm like, fuck. But I just think, like, from my opinion, it's like, I don't think you just piecemeal it together because you don't know when Adin Hill's going to be back. You're trying to find your temporary starter. And it's like, they do it in, like, and think of it like this. When you break down, let's say, the World Juniors, you play like 6 games. Sometimes they'll go back and forth, but whoever's proven, that's the starter. Whoever has the first better game, you're starting. Until you fuck up, the other guy's going
but you
in.
have to run the hot goalie because you have it's a tournament. It's 7 games.
But that's
right?
what we're looking at right now.
No, we could be looking at it. We could be looking at another month.
But sure, but like there's probably only 8 games left 10 games left in the month, right? Or whatever it is. Maybe there's a bit more, but like that's what I'm saying is it's like it's a temporary, but it's long enough that you can't just wing shit.
All right, let's talk about the homestand a little bit. We sort of teased it, but 2 games into the 6-game homestand, an awful showing. Bruce was as agitated as Bruce can be when he says it's coach's responsibility to coach the team, right? The whole rhetoric. But that Friday afternoon game had the potential to be great, and it was just one big sloppy wet fart. The third period kind of picked up a little bit, but they missed their alarm clock again. They're down a goal first, 40 seconds into the game, and they're already chasing. Then they go down 2-0, and they're chasing. This has been a crutch for the team, a problem for the team for a couple of years. And you can't fall behind 2 goals to Colorado or to Dallas or to Edmonton, right? Stuff like that. Last night was a really good bounce back win for them. I know some people on the roll last night, this is a low event game. It was a low event game where the Golden Knights dominated the shot clock, which is something they had not been doing a lot in recent games. They scored first, obviously they won 1-0, but they were never really in peril. And it was a very, what's the right word? Workmanlike performance. Not outstanding. You saw flashes of brilliance. You saw some great plays, Marner making great plays and stuff like that. But it was a very workmanlike, effective performance, even though Detroit was on the last game of their roadie and heading back home. They were really good. This week, tomorrow night, they have Tampa. Then they get Anaheim, the Pacific Division leading Anaheim Ducks. Yes, I did say that, and you can look it up, assholes, because I'm right. They are by tiebreaker leading the Pacific right now, to the surprise of a lot of people.
Everyone.
Right? Then they get Florida. So they basically get rematches of the 2 losses. They were terrible in Florida on the road. There'll be some juice in the building when Florida comes here, for sure. And then to finish out the homestand, I'm giving him the Calder right now. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Matthew Schaefer and the Islanders come to town. They suck. He's unbelievable.
He's ridiculous.
He's
unbelievable.
And if you don't know a lot about his story, it's really kind of incredible. He just turned 18.
Yeah.
Right? They said something on the network, and I just wanted to fucking throat punch them. They made a big deal out of the fact that he was the youngest defenseman in NHL history to have a multi-goal game. And obviously, he replaced Bobby Orr. Mm-hmm. Don't say Matthew Schaefer and Bobby Orr in the same sentence. Shut your fucking mouth.
Well, they're just saying.
Well, they were, yeah. but they were trying to pump the tires pretty good, and the kid is great, right? He didn't play very much last year. He was hurt. I think he played maybe 18 or 20 games. Lost his mom, mm-hmm. right? And I am very rarely excited to watch a single player play.
Yeah, he's really good,
right? But I like to watch Macklin Celebrini play. Right?
Yeah.
Even though we don't pay for tickets, we're blessed in that way. I'm excited to see Matt. It's like I might go down and stand in the corner in warm-ups and watch him skate because he is, who knows? But he's awfully.
When's San Jose here?
Oh, I don't. I think it's a while.
I think the thing that I always is so interesting to me is. Growing up, I never watched anybody live. I never went to NHL games. I don't have a team in Saskatchewan. I never got to go do those things. And then watching players play live, how much better they are in person.
Yeah. As good as hockey is on television.
Holy shit.
It's 1,000 times to be in the ring.
The guys that have impressed me over the years that I've seen live that not that I underestimated them, but I was like, whoa, Paul Kariya was so much better live than he was on TV. What's his name? Oh, fuck. Fedorov.
Oh, he was.
The guy is fucking, he looks lazy, but he's so smart, right? Especially as he got older. He's just so smart. Milan Hajduk also blew my mind how good he was in person. And obviously, like a Connor McDavid, when you get to watch him in person, you just watch him in warm-ups.
That's
another planet.
That's what Joe and I used to do a lot. Is we would go stand in the visitors' corner because it's right off of our entrance.
It's insane.
And you don't realize until you're, on the opposite side of a half-inch pane of plexiglass.
Yeah.
Just how elite fast they are.
It's
nuts.
It's crazy. It's like I think guys like Connor McDavid literally could play the game blindfolded. They are that in tune with what's going on, and like a Nate McKinnon is obviously very good, but he's not like that kind of a guy. But
he's not as smooth.
No.
He's aggressive good.
Yeah, he's like a freight train.
Right. He's the train barreling down the. Did you hear me do that? Barreling down the tracks.
Yeah.
Where McDavid is more like the wind.
Oh, he's just
right.
The guy just. I mean, Wayne was obviously the best at just seeing everything, but McDavid, talent-wise, is better than Wayne.
Oh, I think so.
Like, he's fucking the best there ever has been by far. Like, it's funny to hear NHL players be like, I thought I was an okay player till I got on the ice with him. But, talking to guys that are retired that played against Wayne, they said, Bill Lindsay specifically, he goes, how hard it was to defend Wayne Gretzky, you can't even imagine. And Bill goes, and I got hurt one time, so I was watching. So he goes, obviously I played against Wayne, and then watching from the press box, you can see from down, and he's like, this explains, seeing from the top, why he was as good as he is and as hard to defend as he was. But it's just these guys, if you guys ever get the chance, go down and watch warm up. Watch guys like Marner, who are so talented with their stick. The things that they do in the warm up.
How they stretch and exercise.
It's fucking unbelievable.
All right, so I think you picked 6-7 for points in the homestand. I think I went 7-8.
Yeah.
Does that sound?
I was thinking about that stupid thing kids say now, 6-7.
Oh, fuck.
Took me the longest time to find out what that meant. I didn't even know.
It means nothing.
It means like so-so, like 50-50.
You know what it means? It means if somebody says it to me, I'm going to smack them in the fucking head.
I've never heard anyone say it.
Neither have I. If somebody said it to me, I'd fucking rap them in the fucking head like my dad did.
I'm going to text my 16-year-old godson. Do you say this? He'll probably say no. I'll have to text him and find out.
All right, so they got 4 games left, 8 possible points. They got 2. You want to come off your prediction? Or you want to stay where you are?
No, I'll stay.
All right, I think I'm going to stay 2. I'm done talking for today. I'm tired.
Yeah, me
and
too.
we might have a chance for pizza. So that's going to wrap up episode 117 of Hockey Nights in Vegas. I'm Eddie Rivkin. That's Sarina Taylor. Thanks to Dr. John Pierce at Ageless Forever for sponsoring the show. The Instagram is Hockey Nights Vegas. Don't put the word in there because you won't be finding us there. HockeyNightsVegas.com is where you find all the places you can catch the podcast, online streaming, iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, any place you listen to a spodcast. Any place you listen to a podcast, that's where we are. We'll be back live 3 p.m. Next Wednesday with more fun and shenanigans, and that's the end of episode 117. We're out of here. See you next week.